Hi everyone, it's Zionite here, and today I'm bringing you guys a new DK build. What's different about this build compared to my last build is this build is a light armor build. This build is going to be very good for those of you who want to have a solo play style, you want a 1vx, and you want to be able to kite people while being on a Magicka DK. That sounds a little weird, kiting people on a Magicka DK. One of the slowest class, but I'll tell you how it's possible with this build in this video. So, we are running a light armor setup, and what this light armor setup is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to maximize our sustain and create a decent amount of burst. You know, what's really special about this build is you're surprisingly pretty tanky, and the way I get my tankiness is from bloodspawn and from the way I have my CP set up along with another set that I'm running, Desert Rose. So, let's go ahead and hop onto the set. So I am running 5-piece Desert Rose. This is a really good set. I'd prefer this sustain set over many other sustain sets just because if I'm shot on Magicka on any other sustain sets that doesn't return Magicka back, it's going to be kind of hard to get that Magicka back up if I'm not running, let's say, an ultimate that's already up or my pot's not up yet. So Desert Rose is going to allow us to get a decent amount of Magicka back. And what I also love about this and how it works so well with light armor builds is it adds spell resist and it also adds maximum health. So what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to gain more spell resist while being in light armor, which that is going to add to the huge amount of spell resist pool that we have. And then we're also going to be able to generate some physical resist from the CP, which I'll go on later. And that's going to add to more resist and allow you to be more tanky. Stack that with volatile armor, and you're looking at a decent amount of resistance altogether. So 5-piece Desert Rose, you want to waste or anything really, just make sure you don't get a light chest because you want a heavy chest to add more resist. But anyways, sturdy would be too sturdy on this build is probably optimal, just because you are in light armor, so you're not going to be getting any stand back from Constitution really. So the too sturdy really adds in, and then the rest just end pen. And pen's really nice all around trait for armor. And then for the rest of the Desert Rose, we're running the 3 jewelry, 1 cost reduction, and 2 spell damage. And we're also running 1 hand weapons. Sharpen on the front bar and defending on the back bar. These are pretty hefty in gold, but if you're lucky you might be able to get them from the Alliance crates. Now for our other set we are running shacklebreaker. Make sure you get a heavy chest of this for, again, maximum armor. So running a chest, a hand, make sure that's sturdy, legs, boots, and then 2 shields. You want reinforce on these shields because it's going to be adding to the armor of the shields along with the CP passive that you will be gaining, which adds, I forget how much percentage, I think it's like 75 or 80% extra armor to your shields. So that's going to stack very well with that, allowing this build to be a little bit more tanky since you are in light armor. And then we are running 2 bloodspawn, 1 light, 1 medium. You want to run, if you're going to run 5-on-1, make sure you're running medium on either the helmet or the legs, for example, because those will be given the most legs and shoulders. I should include the shoulders too, so those will be given the most resistances. So if we want to look at our stats real quick with these sets, we can see that our on the front bar Magicka sits at about 39.5k. Our health is 22 point almost 9k. This is without imp, by the way, so no imp. Maximum stamina is sitting really nice, about 17.9k as well. Match recovery, this is light armor, so it's going to be pretty decent, 1195. And then remember, you want to stack that with the Desert Rose, so you're sitting at a really decent amount of match recovery as long as that Desert Rose is proccing every time it can. Health recovery is going to be 6 for Vampire, and stamina recovery is pretty decent, sitting at 870. This is going to help so much when you're mistforming because it's going to allow you to generate more stam on mistform. And I should also note that this build works really well when you get continuous attack and you stack it with the tripod, because it's going to shoot your stamina recovery up really high, and that's going to allow you to dodge roll more while coming out of mist form, and to gain a lot more stamina while in mist form, which allows this build, which pretty much allows this build to be able to kite. That's how the kiting works with this build, is while you're in mist form, you're getting hit, so that's going to be proccing your Desert Rose. So in mist form, you're still getting Magicka back, and you're still generating a lot of stand back, ready to block just in case you have to block, or ready to roll dodge if you have to roll dodge while coming out in mist form. Our crit is sitting at about 36%, so that's pretty decent. This is our unbuffed resistances on the front bar, about 20.6k, and about 15.9k on the front bar unbuffed. Now let's go ahead and swap to the back bar. We can see our Magicka shoots up a little bit more, and that's mainly because of entropy and shooting star. Now, Magicka is sitting at about 41k, so that's going to add a lot of heals to coagulating blood. Our health is sitting at 24.5k due to structured entropy. Maximum stamina is going to be sitting at about 17.9k, same as the front bar. Regen did go up a little bit due to those major skill abilities and passives, so now it's 1228 on the back bar, and everything else is pretty much the same. So let's go ahead and hop right into the skills. So with this build, you want to definitely be running Flame Lash, Burning Embers, Fossilize, Burning Talons, Draw Essence, Ferocious Leap on the front bar. Now, the reason why I run Draw Essence is I combo this along with my Ferocious Leap, and essentially I try to get them to both hit at the same exact time, and what that allows is a quick little burst on someone to just smack them down and get them out of the way really quick. Now on the back bar, we're running Structured Entropy, Mist Form, Volatile Armor, Igneous Shield, Coagulating Blood, Shooting Star. So pretty much, if I'm running around, right, and I see a group coming to me, I'll go for the LOS, and if I know I already have a meteor up, I'll wait till they come around the corner, I'll empower it with Structured Entropy, drop a meteor, swap to my front bar, do a Draw Essence. While blocking, you want to hit Talons 2 times, and then as soon as both the Talons go off your Draw Essence, it's going to go off, giving you back the Magicka return, and the Shooting Star is going to hit pretty much at the same time as the Draw Essence proc. So it's going to do a lot of AoE burst damage. Now, I almost forgot that I should probably show you guys my buff resistances with Volatile. So the front bar is sitting at almost 26k spell, and 21,000 for the physical, and on the back bar, sitting at 28.3k for the spell, and about 23.6k physical resistance on the back bar. So that's pretty damn good, especially for being in light armor. So let's go ahead and hop in the CP. So for the CP, starting in the green tree, we got 48 into Warlord. You're going to want that cost-free reduction. 64 into Magicka recovery. Arcanus. 37 in tumbling for the roll dodge, because you do want to be roll dodging. Just in case if you ever get in a route, or especially whenever you come out of mist form, it's optimal to roll dodge, because it's going to take heat off of you, and it's going to make them miss their attacks, and it's going to allow you to just barely reach around that corner, just in case if your mist form just doesn't reach it in time. And 61 in Shadow Ward, because you will be blocking a lot with this build. 56 into Elemental Expert, 61 into Elfborn, 32 into Blessed, 61 in Master at Arms. If you're not running anything in this CP this current patch, you're doing it wrong. You have to have some CP in here because it adds a lot of damage. Onto the red tree, we have 48 into Ironclad, 30 into Resistant, 11 into Thick Skinned, 32 into Hardy, and 32 into Elemental Defender. Remember I was talking about earlier how Desert Rose, it giving us spell resistance allows us to dedicate more points into this armor focus, which will allow us to get our physical resistance up by about 3,000 while wearing 5 or more pieces of light armor. This is also going to allow us to be a lot more tanky, and this is what's adding on to the tankiness of this build and allowing us to get those resistances and light armor. So for the rest, we just have 23 to quick recovery. So that's it for the CP. That's pretty much it for the build, honestly. Make sure you are a vampire, if anything. I do run the Atronach 1 to stone, because we're in light armor. If you feel like your sustain is plenty enough without the Atronach, you could try something else like the Thief if you wanted more crit, or even the Shadow if you wanted to get like Inner Light or something on the front bar. Tri-stat food, make sure you are running that, because it's pretty much the bread and butter for DK, and make sure you are running tripods for this build. Anytime you're playing Magicka DK, you want to be running tripods. It helps so much, and you need all your resources on a Magicka DK. That pretty much wraps it up for this build. If you have any questions or suggestions, just leave them down in the comments. Thank you for checking out this build. I hope you guys all try out this build because it's a really fun play style. Thank you for watching.